Where am I forever advancing yourself, people? You all know how we do this thing. We take it from level to level to level to level. How are you all doing today? I'm just going to do like a recap on the three surfers that was murdered in Mexico. I made a video on yesterday about the three surfers that were on a vacation. How many times you've gone on a vacation to a country or a city or a state or a resort that you've never been to before in your life, but you just want to go and have a good time with some friends, maybe some families, colleagues, what have you. Well, this is what I want to talk about on a recap of the video that I have on YouTube. And I just found out some additional information, you all, if you all haven't followed the story. See, it's very, very disturbing to me. And regardless of what color you are, you're a human being, right? You're a human being. And I just, I can't really wrap my mind around how these young men, how they were feeling when these assailants, murderers, approached them. They had to be approached in such a way that they knew something wasn't right. But when someone approaches you to take something that you own, to try to take something that you have worked your butt off to own, is yours. The Lord has allowed you to have it for some reason. It's yours. You pay the notes on it. You pay the bills on it. I don't care what it is. My thing is that why did this have to happen? And that goes to for anybody. I'm getting ready to cover another story that I just glanced in the news about a young African American girl, young lady. Something happened to her at school, and I don't know what. I do not know anything about this article. But this YouTube station here is going to be a little different from any YouTube station ever, really, because it's your freedom being taken from you. Your freedom taken from us in so many different ways. These three men weren't bothering anybody. And this is what I'm hearing, and it bothers me. It disturbs me. They were just like, say, for instance, you rolling with your friends. You out, you got your tents in the back of your truck because the assailants saw tents and they wanted, guess what they wanted? Guess why these three vibrant young men that had everything going on in their lives for them, guess what? Their lives was taken from them over some truck tires. Over some truck tires that the killers or killer, it was three, I guess, Mexican men. Or was it two Mexican men and one woman? Read the article online. I'm just here to give you some information about how your freedom gets taken from you. When you're on your vacation, minding your own business, it should have been some type of protection out there for them. It should have been some security out there. It should have been somebody there that could have blown somebody else's brains out from doing that to them. But over truck tires and probably anything else they could get their hands on. My point is that it wasn't right. And I don't care what color you are. or what color the assailants or nationality or race these people are, it was wrong. Anything that is happening in this United States of America and around the globe, when it's wrong, it's wrong. We cannot look at it and turn a deaf ear and a deaf eye to the fact that it happens to black men and women all the time, all over the world. But it's time for us as American people and Mexicans, Spanish, I don't care, Asians to start speaking out against atrocities like this. Write letters, do something about what's going on, because it's happening to all of us. It's happening to all of us, and we're losing our freedoms. I don't care anything about you being white or black or yellow, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Asian, African. I don't care what color you are. You see that our freedoms are being snatched from us, even with media, even on the TV, even with people talking rhetoric, the talking. Freedom of speech is one thing, but I believe sometimes a lot of people cross that line when they start saying things like, if you don't elect me, re-elect me. If I don't win, there's going to be some killing. There's going to be some shooting. There's going to be violence. Oh, you are going to regret it if I don't win the presidency. Now, what is that? What is that, and what are we going to do about it? What type of talk is that? And now 3 surfers getting murdered because of a lot of rhetoric and a lot of talk was about closing the borders off, making people feel like they're animals. And it makes them feel a certain way when they see European Americans in their country, their so-called their country. They feel like Mexico is their country. And now Americans come in there, but Americans don't want us coming to the United States of America. Follow me what I'm saying now. Yeah, if certain peoples don't want Mexicans here, and they want the borders closed off. Hey, different strokes for different folks. More power to you. And then it makes another race or another group of people hate us. It makes people hate us. Is that what this country is trying to get other nationalities to do? To hate us as American people and kill us and our families and our friends when we go on vacation to Cancun? See, this stuff is going to spread like wildfire, I do believe. And it's trying to send a message to us as American people. And it just takes one person to start doing something. Just like what happened to the surfers over some truck tires. They wanted some tires off of the truck. They wanted the truck tires. And what's so sad about it, one of the surfers resisted because they attacked him. That was like unprovoked, and you out getting ready to have a good time. And I don't know if it was nighttime or daytime, but if I'm outside and maybe I'm around my vehicle and somebody come up on me, they're going to startle me and make me scared for one thing. And then my reflex is going to do something. And then they shot and killed this man because what they startled him and they probably scared him, and he was protecting his property. He didn't know what was going on. You know, if somebody walk up on you and they pushing you around, they grabbing you, you're gonna start fighting or you're gonna do something. You're gonna try to pick up something. So those cowards blowed his brains out for no reason. And then you tell me you're gonna let your friend get shot right in your face, right before your very eyes, some hoodlums kill your best friend that's traveling with you. I don't know if it was one of those brothers, one of those American brothers. It was 2 brothers got killed. Or was it the Australian? Was it the Australian? I don't know. It doesn't matter. 3 people are dead, and 3 people were thrown into a well that was 50 feet deep. Were they dead completely, or could they have still been alive when they got thrown in that well? It's a lot to think about. How your freedom get taken from you in 2024. That stuff doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good knowing that, does it? But we talking about freedom now. How it's so easy for one group of people to get treated a certain way, and the world doesn't say anything about it, as long as it's not their children. But now the table's turning, and history is turning toward other races of people, and you see that everybody losing their lives now. I'm voicing out about it because I don't like it. I don't care what color you are. You should. That was like unprovoked, and you out getting ready to have a good time. And I don't know if it was nighttime or daytime, but if I'm outside and maybe I'm around my vehicle and somebody come up on me, they're gonna startle me and make me scared for one thing, and then my reflex is gonna do something, and then they shot and killed this man because what they startled him and they probably scared him, and he was protecting his property. He didn't know what was going on. You know, if somebody walk up on you and they pushing you around, they grabbing you, you're gonna start fighting, or you're gonna do something. You're gonna try to pick up something. So those cowards blowed his brains out for no reason, and then you tell me you're gonna let your friend get shot right in your face, right before your very eyes. Some hoodlums kill your best friend that's traveling with you. I don't know if it was one of those brothers, one of those American brothers. It was two brothers got killed. Or was it the Australian? Was it the Australian? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Three people are dead, and three people were thrown into a well that was 50 feet deep. Were they dead completely, or could they have still been alive when they got thrown in that well? It's a lot to think about. How your freedom get taken from you in 2024. That stuff doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good knowing that, does it? But we're talking about freedom now. How it's so easy for one group of people to get treated a certain way, and the world doesn't say anything about it, as long as it's not their children. We're talking about freedom now. How it's so easy for one group of people to get treated a certain way, and the world doesn't say anything about it, as long as it's not their children. But now the table's turning, and history is turning toward other races of people, and you see that everybody losing their lives now. I'm voicing out about it because I don't like it. I don't care what color you are. You should be able to go anywhere in the United States of America, around the globe, without somebody blowing your brains out for your vehicle. And it happens right here in America. It happens right here every day. Your freedom's being taken from you. That's what this talk is about. How easy somebody usurp or take away your freedom. I'm looking around because I'm looking for someone that's supposed to be coming cutting my grass at the greenhouse. And that's why I'm looking all over the place. You know, I may not be no expert like you when I'm recording, keep on looking right at the camera. I just kind of move around and do things. But they lost their lives over truck tires, and the other two friends came to help, assist their friend, that somebody pulled the trigger and blew his brains out right in front of them. No, they weren't going to sit back and tolerate no junk like that right before their eyes. I wouldn't. I would be gone too. Or I wish it could have been different. I wish it could have been different. See, travelers can't, I, I don't know. Can we bring guns on airplanes? No, we can't. Can you check them in when you're going through customs or something, and they hold it and they put it in a special place, and when you get off the plane, give it back to you if you got a license to carry it? Because that's what it seemed like it's getting ready to get to you all. You know, if you got to travel and people are doing that to us as Americans, our Mexicans, our Asians, our Africans, black, white, Puerto Ricans, I don't care what color you are, you have a right to travel. You have a right to travel. And when someone try to take that freedom from us, that's when you need to rise up and do battle and fight, because they took their freedom from them. And when those friends saw their friend get blown away like that, oh my Lord, the things that those men had to look at and witness and go through before they lost their lives. Yeah, they came to assist him. And those cowards blew their brains out and killed both of those All three of them dead. And I think one of those assailants or one of those criminals or whatever you want, or a crook or murderer, had one of the American guys' telephone. That's how they tracked her down. I think that was a female. And she sit back and watched all this stuff happen. Or was she the trigger puller? I mean, I was talking about the death penalty, but I was told the death penalty is not legal in Mexico. So, what, throw them in jail and that's it? Throw them in jail and that's it? Well, I'm not going to tell you what I believe in, because what I believe in can get me in trouble, or if not killed or not put in the pen for the rest of my life. I believe for an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth in this situation. Now, if you don't have the guts to do things and you don't know how to do it, leave it alone and let justice serve. Justice, see, that's when justice needs to really be justice. See, a lot of times when you sit back on the outside looking in, and it's not your sister, it's not your brother, it's not your mother or your father or your child or somebody murdered, you don't know how people feel. I know about vigilante justice, and I understand why people become vigilantes in this country and in the world. I do understand why they do it. I understand why they wait for a court date. I'm going there and wait for that assailant to walk out, because that man been so depressed and thrown away. Somebody killed your three family members and killed your loved one, and you just wait and you waited for so long for an opportunity to blow their brains out. And I understand why people show up at court hearings and they take them out because of what they did to your loved one. You don't care nothing about no freedom then. That's when you throw your freedom away sometime. When you going to get justice one way or the other. Because the only thing they're going to get is a slap on the wrist and maybe locked up. And some people can't live with the fact that somebody killed their loved one and the only thing they're going to do is go to jail. Can you live with it? Let's say somebody did that to your wife, or your child, or your husband, or your best friend, or your fiance, somebody you love and care about, and you're going to miss them for the rest of your life. If you can't get over what they did to them, you just can't get over what they did to them. I understand it. Priscilla understand why they're late for you until your trial come up and make their mind up to wipe you out from killing their son. You understand where I'm coming from? Their husband, their lovers. They'll never see them again. And I teach love. But sometimes people, the whole world have to understand that you got a price to pay when you take somebody's life from them. And when there's no price to pay but jail time, people are quick to murder us. Don't forget about George Floyd. Don't forget about Emmett Till. Don't forget about Marcus Garvey. Don't forget about anybody. And do not forget about the three surfers now. Don't forget about them now. Because their skin different from mine, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're human. And they should still be here alive today. Somebody wanted their vehicle, they wanted their tires, and they blow their brains out just like that and threw them in a well. And they still could have been alive. No one would never know if they were dead or alive when these animals, yeah, I'm calling them animals, because who would do a person like that? I don't care if you're an American. If you just murdering people and killing people for no reason, you're an animal too. You're a crook. You're a criminal. You anything that I can think of. If you that type of person and you take freedom away from a person that's supposed to be free. Now, what does freedom look like to you? The parents, what does freedom look like to you now? How do you feel about it? What you want done about it? Open your mouth and let the whole world know what you want to happen to them three people. Don't be afraid to speak out about forgiveness. If that's what you want, fine and dandy. Because vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. He will avenge you for them killing your son. He'll do it for them killing your husband. I'm telling you, one of them was a doctor, I do believe. But the Lord said, let me do the vengeance. Give it to me. Put it in my hand. Jesus said it. And I know that stuff hurting a lot of people. Different things that happen to different people all over the world. And you're hurting behind it, aren't you? You're hurting and you're suffering and you're crying. You don't know what to do about it. But the Lord will avenge you. Never forget it. Vengeance is mine, said the Lord. And that's the type of vengeance that you will never know what's going to happen to these people. But I guarantee you, it's the best vengeance in the world. Don't you ever forget it, because God know what they did. And their blood cried out from that well. That blood cried out from that well. That's why they was able to be located and found. God not going to let nobody get away with murder. Don't you ever forget that. Where am I forever advancing yourself, people? You all know how we do this thing. We take it from level to level to level to level. And people all over the world that have lost somebody that's real dear to you, and you suffering right now. My condolences to you. My condolences to you and your family. May God bless you. May God keep you. And I just hope and pray that you can move forward with your life because of it. Move forward with your life because of what has happened. God bless you. God keep you. Bye-bye.